Hello, and here we are, we're back at the grounds of Bolton Urban Society. I know I've not done a video in a while, and weather's just not been good enough to get out. We've had torrential rain, winds, hurricane force and snow and all sorts of crap for ages. And the ground is sodden. There's barely anywhere you can go. It's just... Anyway, that's wondering about the weather. The sun's out today, it's slightly warmer, that's why I have no hat on. And I thought I'd try and get this video done with the various axes and hatchets that I've not already done on video, because I've got a couple more videos coming up. Hopefully to do a review of Ivanix Bullpup and the Cleaver cricket at some point. I just want to say Happy New Year and thank you to Serene Madness for sending me the nice card. I know I've said thank you once, but I'll say it on camera. If you don't know Serene Madness, then get across to his channel, it's on my sub list. And in fact, have a look at everybody on there. There's some remarkable people and some remarkable videos out there. Anyway, without much further ado, there's a stack of stuff here that pardon me for keep turning me back on the camera, but I've just hurriedly rushed it out while I can. And I think we'll start off with this one, the United Cutler M48 Hawk. Nice little top for it. Made of some sort of nylon fabric. Unlike some of the other axes that I've got that have cut completely through the fabric, this must be tougher, because this is one hell of a tomahawk from Archer. It's got a nice reinforced handle. I don't know whether it's got any metal inside it or not, but it's pretty strong, kind of polypropylene type stuff. As you can see, the axe head runs down inside there, which is with the camera, screwed on, and that's not been sharpened up or anything, but I wouldn't like to be it by the point, so I think if that was sharpened up a little bit, that would make a nice cutting edge. That is definitely sharp, and again, it's a tomahawk, so it'd make a nice working axe and throwing axe. It feels as if it would have a nice spin on it. I'm not good at throwing, so I'm not going to attempt to throw any of these axes today, I'm sorry to say. If you want to see plenty of that, go across to Fast Action Blades on my sub list, and you'll find that he throws all sorts of stuff like this. It's very well, that point works because I can't get it back out again. That's a nice fresh piece of wood. My goodness, yeah, that went in a long way. I haven't sharpened that, so that's how it came. Nice, huh? A working axe, working straight out of the bag, and you don't have to mess with it. Having said that, I do like a lot of United Cutlery stuff, so yeah, really nice. What else have we got in here? Well, there's a couple of these fancy type axes. They give them various names. I think the majority of them come from China. Some of them have micarta handles, some of them I think are just an heavy duty moulded plastic of some sort. Hard to tell with this one. Very sharp, very razor sharp that, yeah. It's got a thick back bit that you could use, and most of these have a thick back bit that you could actually use for hammering or tapping with. How sharp is that? Hey buddy, alright. So the metal rings and it's sharp enough to shave the wood off. So that one. And that should have been in that. It is still complete, but they have a tendency, because of the odd shapes, to get snagged on the fabric and start tearing it apart. So that's one thing to be aware of. This is the conduit. It's supposed to be based on the Vietnam type hatchet. See the conduit sign there, glittering in the sun. Wooden handle. I must say, I'm not over impressed with that handle. Nice bit of wood, yes, but not very ergonomic. If you're tired and worn down and you was in Vietnam, with a lot of soldiers, when you're in battle, you're yomping along carrying lots of weight and you've not much time to stop for food and stuff like that. After a bit you start to get tired and shaky. You wouldn't be able to really hold on to that type of handle. That would start to slide out of your hand. And with something as sharp as this, and I don't think I really need to start burying that in wood to let you know how sharp it is. These have been, and I have actually used this to try it, on an oil drum, and it went through it, and I had a job getting it back out again. It went straight through the lid. So, and we're talking a big heavy duty oil drum, not these shit little tin things you get from the shop. This here, again, it's had a bit of a sharp, and I've chopped wood with this very easy. And it's the designs about these axes, tomahawks, hatchets, whatever you want to call them, that intrigues me, as with knives. I'm hoping I didn't upset anybody recently, especially Jim of Nicest Knives, when I said that I found some particular designs of knives to be a little bit boring. I meant boring to me. I didn't mean that they were boring in general. It's just that they don't speak to me, they don't say anything. And some even, like some of the woodcraft knives, look like kitchen knives. And sorry, I know my head's off camera here, but you can hear me, can't you? And I find nothing special in them. I was a chef when I was younger, so I've had my fill of kitchen knives. That's meant to be the M-Tech USA axe, which might not be in this bag, it might be in another one. I've just quickly stuffed them all into there. Saw the sun came out, got a little bit excited, and not prepped anything. These are a couple of these Chinese type axes. This is from Combat UK. Quite thick back end again. Nice sharp blade. I've been using this one. Sometimes I just get things for sure, but because these have come razor sharp, I've been using them. So I could do with an edge putting on it again. It's got a, as you can see, paracord handle wrapped around it. It's nice, grippy, won't slip. Nice and slim to hold like a knife. In fact, as a defensive weapon, it's got a lot going for it, especially with that point on there. So yeah, and here's a similar sort of one. This is one of the Chinese type ones. This is a proper micarta type handle. The nice curved blade, sharp back end as well for doing smaller jobs. The camera's over here. Sorry if I keep going off camera, but the camera's over here and the screen's over there. Again, these two would make nice throwing blades. Nice tough little metal designs. I'm not sure how they do on a big thick one like this.
See you later.
See you, bud. It didn't take much of a whack to get them in there, and that's a nice dry piece of wood ready for chopping up for burning on the log fire. Lots of these little fabric covers. I've got to be honest with some of the axes. They're not very good. That one's just torn inside there. Very shabbily put together really, and I've already shown you one of these. The only difference is, of course, the handle's slightly different. Same thick back end, blade, nice. Yeah, obviously not done anything with that one. I could probably shave with that blade actually. I'm not going to, but yeah, it's as sharp as a knife blade, that is, flipping out. Here's how sharp these type of blades are. One of the other blades that I had, I'd been using it and I put it down at the side of me. Not now, normally I'm very careful about safety. Obviously being involved in an air gun club, you've got to be all the time. I mean, run the Boys Brigade Company and youth clubs. Again, it's ingrained in me. But just one day I made a mistake of putting one of these down at the side of me. I think I was putting some fresh boots on and leaning forward, sat down, leaning forward, tying up instead of putting the blade away from me, like that. I was pointing inwards. And my elbow skimmed the blade. It didn't bang on the blade, it didn't press on the blade, it skimmed the blade and sliced my elbow all the way around. And the first thing I knew about it, I didn't even feel the pain, was there was blood all over the sheet on the edge of the bed where I was sat. So they're not playthings, definitely not. They're not toys, and they're good and strong. They do take a fair bit of hammering. That's gone. Look how far that's gone into there. So So, one of these with the bright orange safety angle. It's not a gerber or anything like that. Again, it's one of these Chinese ones. It's got the nut shapes in the middle of there. Handy, I suppose, but why you'd have those three particular nuts every time, I don't know, unless they are a standard use. There's a nice little slicing blade at back there. You could either use for skinning or slicing a belt or something like that. Yeah. Again, nice ergonomic shape, rubbery feel to the handle. The blade curves around a bit like a kukri, which is probably what attracted me to it in the first place. So it's got a defensive nature, it's got a work nature. This is one of the few that didn't come ultra sharpened up like the last one. It's got a nice bit of weight behind it. So there we are. Again, with the bright orange safety handle, you're not going to lose it in the grass, as with some of these seem to have a kind of camouflage look about the handle. In which case you could put it down and walk away. It might sound stupid, but I know people that have camouflaged their air guns, gone out shooting vermin or whatever, and put the guns down and come back and spent 20 minutes trying to find their air gun again. So that's something to think about. There's another one one of these Chinese ones with a easily slip out. It's a slightly different shape to the handle. Again, it's still micarta, razor sharp blade at the front, nice sharp point at the back. You could shave with that, no problem. I don't like to do these shaving tests because I don't do very well on them. But right, there's my knuckle. I've got hairy knuckles. I'll probably just you can see I'm taking a lot of skin off. I don't know about the hair. Hope you can see that. It's a bit hard to tell with sun shining all over the camera. But these are handy little things. If you don't want a lot of weight and you're going out camping, these are good for chopping firewood, branches. You know, you don't want to chop down a tree or anything like that. These do the job. They're tough. They take a lot of hammering. Again, I don't know how I ended up with 3 of these, but I've already been through that. This is the MTech USA one. We had threw the cap down for it before. And nice paracord handle. What the 3 holes have any points or what, I don't know. It's a nice strong thick piece of metal at that back end, so you can actually perhaps bend wire or whatever. Nice sharp point on there. I think probably most of it's all for sure. There's no sharp edge, no blade edge to this, but that point there will bury itself deep in anything and will probably open metal. That blade there again is razor sharp blade. Somebody's done a good job on that, not me. I have a lot of trouble with that, but that would shave no problem. You see the skin coming off as well as any and again it's got a nice weight, nice balance. It will make a great throwing. Bearing in mind that I had an operation on the shoulder last year and I've still not got much strength in it, so they're good. They have a purpose. Again, I seem to have ended up with a couple of these, mainly because you've got to be careful with some of these advertisements on some of these Chinese forums like AliExpress and such like. They'll show you one particular thing and you can end up with another, and it's just not worth sending them back. But having said that, I do like these particular, very lightweight but very strong, very sharp. Lightweight but very strong camping type axe. As you can see, it's going into this no problem. Won't have any trouble chopping small branches, bits of wood and that for campfire. Very lightweight, good throwing axe as well if you're an expert at throwing, no problem with that. This one's, I think it's called the Armstrong, I'm not sure, but that is the logo on it. Again, this was advertised as a throwing type axe, and as you can see, the back there is very finely bladed. The front, they're not as well sharpened up as some of them, but I wouldn't like it to hit me in any way or fashion. Point on the top as well. Again though, thick wooden handle, a bit like the Vietnam style one, and to be honest, that's, if you like wood and it's just for show, then great, it's a nice bit of wood, nice grain, but it's not very ergonomic. If you've got to chop hard for a good while, that fits wrong in the hand, and like the other one, I think I'd have to do a bit of shaping on the handle to get it to be a good grip and not want to slip out of my hand. when I'm throwing it forward. But again, this would be it's not super heavy, but it's not as lightweight as the others. It would make a good camping style axe. It's the covers go on it nice enough, you know, for it not to rip through anything. Again, it's sorry, we're out of camera again. We've got to get the hang of this now. Yeah. Yeah. It's not taking much, and it wouldn't take much to, and that took a good twist to get out then without bending the metal. The metal is not weak, soft. So again, that's another small. You see them advertised on these forums, and I know you think, oh, $10, $20 axe, whatever. And you think, is it worth it? Now this one I got more for sure. I wasn't over pleased with the type of wooden handle that I got. It's supposed to be traditional, but it doesn't fit very well. The axe head is actually quite loose inside there, so I wouldn't want to be swinging that without doctoring it a bit, but it's a bearded axe. It's a Viking axe. And if I can get it close enough with the sun shining on it, you can see that it's a Smith wrought axe, and you can see the work that's been done on it, and then they brought it up to a nice sharp edge. But the piece of wood, as you can see, there's a gap. I don't know if you see the light shining through that or not. You see it? There's a gap there. It's just too loose in this particular piece of wood. So it'd be nice to get a decent piece of wood, the right shape and fitting. But having said that, okay, it's not sticking in because it's not sharpened up as well as those cheap $10 knives, but sharpened up properly. That head has got enough weight in it. Flipping it. And you can see where it's a fighting blade as well. There is a boot you can get. I think it's Anthony Cummins who's done it, and it's the Viking Martial Arts it's called, and it shows the different fighting in sketch form, fighting ways with sword and axe and such like. And one of the ways of fighting was to hold the axe, no matter how long the handle was, to hold the axe that way. Sometimes close quarters combat, you've got a nice sharp blade because they would own it to be so. And so you've got that thrusting, boxing, punching. You've got a nice long handle, obviously, as well as they didn't throw their axes all the time. They didn't stand there swinging because if you get it's hard to explain a type of martial arts in a few seconds. But you start swinging something about, there are points where you leave yourself open, whether it's an axe or a sword or whatever. Knife's a bit different. It's in close, and this is where this would come in handy, because you've got a blade long and sharp like a knife. Obviously you've not got the thrusting edge there, but you've got a piece of wood, yeah, as well, without having to swing out. But once you start doing that with an heavy head, you're swinging out. You've got to have an awful lot of forearm strength and back arm strength and so on to keep pulling it back. I mean, okay, yeah, they would get lots of practice on it. There's a point where you're going to fail unless you develop some other sort of use or way of fighting. So if you're interested in Viking martial arts, look up the book on, I think, Amazon at the moment, Viking martial arts, and I think it's by Anthony Cummins. I know he did a review on YouTube about it anyway, and it does look quite impressive. And that's it. I'm down to the end of those like I say, many of those axes are the, let's just adjust this a minute, are the, what in America would be called the $20 axe, or the that's Peter trying to wind me up and make me laugh, and he's succeeding. Don't write them off because they look a cheap price. The majority of them look as good metal as anything else that I've held. I mean, obviously I'm not a blacksmith, I'm not a metallurgist, but you know yourself when you've got a cheap bit of metal that's not going to keep holding an edge. It's going to bend or twist, or it's not going to take the pressure of what you're doing. And most of those little ones there, if you want to take something out backpacking, you know, you're going out into the woods for, I don't know, a weekend, 3 or 4 days a week, whatever, it'll do the job. It'll you know, chop your firewood. It'll, most of them are razor sharp. They'll do skinning, chopping the legs head off a rabbit or whatever. You know, if you're going to eat for food, whatever, they'll do the job. And they're lightweight, easy to carry. And the other thing is they have a good defensive nature should you get yourself into trouble. And most of those, like I say, I'm not an expert at throwing, but I've seen fast action blades throwing those type of axes and over 22 feet sticking them in. So, and the same with the tomahawks as well. So I know that if you have the skill, you can do it. Again, check out my subs list. I've got an awful lot of nice people on there who do some really good videos, interesting videos, and I've acquired some new ones recently, and I'm really impressed. I mean, there's one person on my video list that's just come on. You'll have to have a look for the name, but it's is it teen to teen or something. The girl does actually look about 13 or 14, but she's a 17-year-old girl, and she's got her head screwed on. She knows some stuff. She's not frightened of getting out there. She's not one of these kids that sits behind a bloody game machine 24/7. And she's impressive. And she puts her videos across really well. And quite a lot of youth are impressing me. And I don't mind subbing to these people and giving them my support. And they're just starting out, they're just learning. I see these troll types who start making stupid remarks about you got this wrong or you did that wrong. How the fuck are you going, sorry about me swearing, but how the fuck are you going to learn anything if people are pulling you to the bits for the slightest thing? You're starting out, you've had the guts to make a video, you deserve a thumbs up. I see 102 views on people's videos, and I see 3 or 4 thumbs up. Come on, what does it take to give a thumb up? If you like the video, give it a thumb up. Encourage the people to keep going. Right, well, I think I've run quite a long time now, and it's hard enough these days getting stuff on YouTube. I think I'm going to wind up with this on this sunny day and try and get some shooting done now, but thanks very much for sticking with me. Bye for now.
That's really thick.